Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New York Empoleon's week quarterfinals. I always say that every single time I start playoffs, I start by saying week and then the word. And it just happens. Anyway, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New York Empoleon's quarterfinal battle of the SDA Season 2. We are here this week taking on the Chernobyl Dragalges, coached by Bruno7. And if you have not seen them before, go check them out. Links in the description below. This is a coach I have struggled with this season and all throughout 2022 when we have started facing more often. I think I'm 0-3 against Bruno in my career. All of those games have been in this calendar year. And yeah, PAC didn't go well. SDA didn't go well. So hopefully we're going to get it back here, pick up a win this week. Of course, Bruno is the 1 seed. With the way that I've been playing this season, I'm not overly surprised I snuck in as the 8 seed. I had locked up a playoff spot by week 7, but I'm still not overly surprised. So we are the last seed in the playoffs, but that said, I think we're a very dangerous last seed, and I intend to make this battle difficult. If you have not seen Bruno or any of the other coaches in the SDA, of course, go check them all out. Half of them are no longer uploading because the season's over, which is really sad. But the other half do have a playoff battle, and those are always really exciting. So definitely go check out the playoff battles of all of the coaches this season. Links are in the description below if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Twitch, well, I don't have the descriptions because that'd be confusing. So just watch it on YouTube later when all the battles come out, because it doesn't really matter because they can't be uploaded until they're uploaded on YouTube anyway. Anyway, all that aside, none of that made any sense. We are going to be taking on this team, which has not changed since I faced it in week 2. And the team is Weavile, Mienshao, Volcarona Haunter, Landorus Therian, Rotom Wash, Serena, Tyrantrum, Audino, Bronzong, and Aromatisse. And it's a really good team. This team is absolutely horrifying. Tons of threats top to bottom. Everything's scary offensively. Very, very good offensive team. And then some of the slower mons, Audino, Bronzong, very solid walls, difficult to break. The first thing I noticed right off the bat was that the only dark resists are Weavile and Aromatisse, though. And, well, I guess Mienshao, too. Both Weavile and Mienshao, I would not consider switch-ins to a Mandibuzz. Neither of them are going to break it in one hit. I am fully physically defensive. Knockoff is just going to be super useful utility. As I always say, could be used more and should be used more. And so Mandibuzz being able to click Knockoff is going to be huge. Roosting to stay healthy. I am Rocky Helmet. Nope, I'm Boots. I switched off Rocky Helmet last minute because I'm not really taking the hits from the Weavile, right? Like, Triple Axle is going to hurt. So I don't really love taking those hits from the Weavile. This isn't a switch into Weavile. Weavile's also not a switch into this. Knocking off Boots from Weavile or Band or Life Orb or something could be incredibly valuable. Knocking off whatever the Mienshao is, Life Orb, probably is also going to be really useful. Knocking off the AV from Landorus T or the leftovers from Rotom Wash, AV from Serena, Band or Scarf on Tyrantrum, whatever Bronzong's doing, leftovers, even if it's Colbur, popping that early is good. Knocking off the leftovers from Audino, knocking off the leftovers from Aromatisse. So basically, whatever switches into this, and there's a bunch of possible switch-ins to this, is going to get knocked off. It is going to be, you know, I get the information of what kind of set it's running from the item, and then I also get to be able to deal with it without an item, which is super useful throughout the rest of the match. Mandibuzz is going to be something that is not really going to last forever. I'm hopeful it can do its job throughout the match, but it does allow the Rotom Wash in fairly freely without a ton of counterplay. I could run Toxic, but I decided not to this week because of the possibility that something like Bronzong or Audino come in and then have Heal Bell, and it's not like the most important thing. So I'd rather the foul play damage be able to do something to the Weavile, not let that just like set up in front of me, right? If Weavile's in and I'm like, it's going to set up a Swords Dance right now, I just click foul play, Swords Dance to foul play, and we're good to go. So that's really why I'm running the foul play this week over anything else. But Roost and Defog are just pretty standard. Next up is my Copperajah. Now, I also, in addition to not liking rocks on my side of the field, really like rocks on their side of the field. It gives me a ton of information and value. Volcarona and Weavile, I expect both to be Boots, but Rotom Wash, I would love 12.5% every time it switches in. That'd be huge. I would love the same thing on Landorus T. Audino, that like little bit of chip really does go a long way. So having rocks up is super useful. It can show me where your defogger is, right? I expect it's probably going to be Rotom, maybe Landorus. And otherwise, I'm just running a fully physically defensive set on this as well, but this actually is Rocky Helmet because Weavile clicking Triple Axle into a Rocky Helmet Copperaja is 50% for free on the Weavile, and I'm okay with that. Knockoff's never going to kill me, and that's another, 16% on the Weavile, so that thing could be down to 25%. If I've gotten rid of the boots, it's just dead to rocks in the next switch in, which is super huge. So especially, and if it's Life Orb, like that thing's about to get literally destroyed by just trying to touch a Copperaja. So as long as this thing is healthy, Weavile is somewhat neutralized. Of course, my opponent could predict that, go for a knockoff first, and then later be clicking triple axle more with abandon. Ice Shard also doesn't make contact, but at the same time, Copperaja coming in, it can click a move. Stealth Rock's good early. Rotom Wash obviously comes in on this, so Power Whip's good to catch that switch in. Otherwise, Heat Crash can hit the Volcarona at least. I'm not like totally walled by it. I thought about running Rock Blast in that slot, but I liked the Fire type coverage because otherwise Bronzong is just a pain, and this thing and Bronzong stare at each other a lot in these prep battles that I did for this, so I'm just going to be having Heat Crash so that I don't have to worry about the Bronzong just utterly walling me, and Heavy Slam covers basically everything else, so this has good offensive coverage, it has good defensive utility here. I'm shocked at how bad its physical defense is every time I look at it. Like, even with max Phys Def, it only has 133 in that stat, whereas Blastoise gets to 167 and Mandibuzz to 172, so spoilers, there's going to be a Blastoise later, but next up is Sylveon. Sylveon is going to be Heal Bell, Wish, Toxic, and Hyper Voice. This is going to be an answer to Audino, spamming Toxics. And, if I get knocked, my leftovers get knocked off. It's not the end of the world. This thing can switch into Volcarona. It is max specially defensive. Volcarona, needs to be at like +3 to even consider 2 KOing Fiery Dance. And Toxic can help wear that down. Wish can stall turns out. Hyper Voice, as I've said before, and I'll say it a million times, Toxic is a great move, but if you know that there's a setup sweeper on the other side of the battlefield, there's one thing you need to do in addition to getting a Toxic off on that Pokemon, and it is do 10%. If you do the math, you get 6.25% the first turn, 12.5% the second turn, 18.275%, whatever, right? You get 6.25% additional every turn. After 5 turns, where a Pokemon has been on the field, it will be left, if you do the math, with exactly 10%. And if you don't do that 10%, it gets a 6th turn to do something. And that 6th turn can be really important. Now, this is obviously excluding like leftovers recovery or having access to Roost or something else. But if it's a Mon that you're pretty sure isn't going to be recovering and is just going to let the Toxic wear it down, you need to find a way to do 10% to that Pokemon somewhere along the line. And Hyper Voice is not a great move to click against a Volcarona, but I'm not looking for it to do 100%. This could be Psyshock, and I could be doing like 35%. I don't need that. I need 10, and Sylveon can do 10% as long as the Volcarona hasn't set up multiple Quiver Dances, and that's all I care about. Because if it can do 10% somewhere during the battle, then Volcarona gets 1 fewer turn of Toxic, and that's important to me because that 1 fewer turn might mean 1 fewer kill for the Volcarona, and that might mean the difference between winning and losing this battle. So I am really trying to play for those inches in this battle. Wish is super useful. I don't have Protect, unfortunately. I didn't have room for it, but it is going to be able to wish back a bunch of different Mons, which is nice. Mandibuzz appreciates it. Copperaja appreciates it. So we are going to be able to wish back a bunch of different Mons and hopefully be able to make it work from there. Next up is Garchomp. Garchomp is going to be rocking out with the Swords Dance, Aqua Tail, Dragon Claw, and Crunch, and a Yachi Berry to maybe catch the Weavile napping a little bit. This set was originally created with an Adrenaline Orb, and a part of me wants to go back to it because it's hilarious. If I Swords Dance in front of a Landorus and then get the Adrenaline Orb, I basically just get Dragon Dance Garchomp, and Aqua Tail goes nuts at that point against Landorus, and then I can just Dragon Claw the Rotom, Crunch the Bronzong. But Yachi Berry, I mean, the problem with that set was that every time I ran it, I get this cool set against the Lando. Lando comes in, it intimidates, I get the Swords Dance, I get the Adrenaline Orb, I get +1/+1, it's great, everything's awesome, and then I kill the Lando, and then Weavile comes in, and I have to switch out anyway. And I already naturally have Speed Landers, so it's not like really important that I get the Adrenaline Orb pop. So Yachi Berry just gave me a bailout option against the Weavile. Of course, Weavile's not forced to click Ice Shard, it could click Triple Axle, but baiting the Weavile to click Triple Axle the first time that it's in against a Garchomp is actually super useful because I can go Copperaja and then get 75 or 50% on it with the Rocky Helmet. If you're forced to click it because you're like, I will otherwise lose this game and Garchomp could survive an Ice Shard from here, then I can just go into Copperajah. And that's super useful for me because getting that damage on the Weavile is so vital. It is so important to my game plan to get that damage on the Weavile. Plus, then my Copperajah can set rocks. So Garchomp can come in fairly early, aggressively, set up a Swords Dance. I can bring it in on the Rotom Wash a little bit aggressively because if Rotom goes for Volt Switch, that's great. If it goes for Willow, I have the Heal Bell on the Sylveon, so I can do a little bit of damage with Garchomp and then get it Heal Belled later. So I can bring it a little bit more aggressively on the Rotom Wash than usual. And the Yache Berry will mean that if Weavile does later in the game try to pick this thing off with an Ice Shard for some reason instead of going for a Triple Axle for accuracy purposes or something, maybe I can live it, surprise it, kill it, and then who knows from there, the game is back on. So Weavile's a huge problem. I figured the Yache Berry was going to be useful this game. It also covers something like a surprise Ice Punch Mienshao, or maybe like an Icy Wind Haunter that could try to catch this Garchomp by surprise. I can be like, okay, well, they caught me by surprise, but at least I survived. Next up is the Gengar. Gengar is going to be rocking out with Wise Glasses. I went way back and forth on this set with a bunch of different items and a bunch of different sets. I had Sub Nasty Plot at one point. I had a Focus Sash at one point. I had a bunch of different things, but ultimately I decided to go with the Wise Glasses for one reason and one reason only. Every time I did something with this Gengar, it left a Pokemon with like 10% left after 2 attacks. And I was like, man, only all my moves had a 10% boost to their power, and I was like, well, I could go Modest, but then I don't have to speed the Volcarona and Mienshao. So I was like, okay, well, I have to go Timid. How can I get a 10% boost in their power? You know, Wise Glasses. So, this is going to be rocking out with the Wise Glasses this week. I thought about actually running Poison Barb. That is the most common move that I'm spamming is Sludge Wave this week, which is actually kind of surprising given how free Shadow Ball looks. But the fact that Audino can switch in on it and take literally nothing, where Bronzong just does not switch in on a Gengar, especially with how free Shadow Ball looks most of the time. Plus, Sludge Wave into Icy Wind can kill the Lando. So as long as I can confirm it's not Scarfed, I can always have that in my back pocket. So it's not like I need to click Shadow Ball for the neutral hit. On the Landorus, I can just Sludge Wave and then Icy Wind. If I scout that it's AV, then I can know that based on the Sludge Wave damage just as well. So we are going to be rocking out with that set this week. Hopefully this Gengar does work. I really just need to keep in my head that it's not Sash because it was Sash in most of my prep. And I just decided not to make it Sash, so I have to make sure I don't like play it like it's Sashed, you know, bring it on the Weavile or something and be like, oh, it can take a hit and then win. Like, I died to a knockoff for sure. So, now I could bluff Scarf, I could bluff Sash, but I have to be very careful with that. So, Gengar super good this week. Very, very valuable Mon. Energy Ball can 2-hit KO Rotom Wash. Sludge Wave with the Wise Glasses can basically 2-hit KO on Audino. Definitely can after Rocks, especially if it's not max special defense. It's got like a little bit of physical bulk or something. I can definitely 2-hit KO with Sludge Wave after Rocks. So that's easy enough. Shadow Ball does a million to Bronzong. So we have coverage for everything. This thing is a great revenge killer. Does a lot of work. And the Wise Glasses allow me to change my move up while also getting in a little bit of extra power. And lastly, we have my Blastoise. I referred to this earlier. It is going to be Blastoise with max HP, max Fizz Def, but Mirror Coat, because if Rotom Wash is in against the Blastoise, and I am probably leading my Blastoise, it's my safest lead against the Landorus and the Rotom, which are two of the most probable leads on my opponent's part. Rotom Wash is in against the Blastoise, I'm clicking Mirror Coat every time, and something is dying. I'm guaranteed to live one. It is going to put me in Torrent range, and then I am going to kill something with Mirror Coat, and then I have Torrent boosted Aqua Jets or Torrent boosted Scalds, depending on what I need for the situation. It is able to do like 40% to Volcarona with Aqua Jet uninvested if I'm in Torrent. So my goal is to get this thing into Torrent range. I do have the leftovers, which does mean that eventually I get out of the Torrent range, so I do have to watch out for that. But I do also like the longevity of having the Blastoise actually be able to stick around and maybe do something to the Volcarona later. If I have Mirror Coat, Volcarona is always going to be on edge about what move it can click at a given time. And once I've revealed it, which I intend to hopefully do, and just take something out early in the game, then I'm going to be able to use it against the Volcarona as a weapon that I never have to click, but hopefully will stop the Volcarona from feeling comfortable just going straight for an attack until it's like ready to fully kill me. So it's like Quiver Dance, I go Scald, he does a Calc, he's like, Bug Buzz is a roll, I don't really want to get Mirror Coated, obviously Mirror Coat's coming, so I can click Scald again as you go for another Quiver Dance, and then I Aqua Jet and you die, and then you don't even get to kill the Blastoise. So that's definitely, you know, best case scenario, like dream scenario as opposed to reality, but I'm hopeful that something like that happens. And if I can kill the Volcarona without getting any kills, I would consider myself a winner even if I lose the battle. All right, let's try to beat Bruno for the first time in my career right here. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to get into this. If you're here on YouTube, I guess I should turn the chat into emote-only mode since it's a playoff battle. Let's not take any risks or chances here. Volcarona, Bronzong, Weavile, Landorus, Rotom, Audino. That's basically exactly the 6 I would have expected them to bring here. I'm actually really glad not to see Tyrantrum. I actually think that thing had a really, really good offensive matchup against my roster. And with that roster, Bronzong is a possible lead, and Rotom and Landorus are possible leads. I don't see Audino or Weavile or Volcarona leading. All of those are kind of answered by Blastoise. Bronzong being the one thing I might rather have my Mandibuzz in against, but that's an easy enough switch to make if I want to, if I'm worried about Stealth Rock, or I can even go into Copperajah to put my own rocks up after that, but I can't let Copperajah or my Mandibuzz lead against the Rotom or the Landorus. So notably in week 2 when we faced, I wouldn't say I brought memes, but I did bring Maractus. So he's already seeing something different that I've decided to bring. These are the exact same 6 that he brought last time. So I'm pulling up the notes that I had from last time, seeing if they help me at all. Weavile had Aerial Ace, for instance. That's good to know that we might, choose to bring again, because I do have a Buzzwole on my roster. I chose not to bring it to this particular iteration of this battle. I brought it last time. Weavile killed it with Aerial Ace. So, yeah, definitely just going to have that access to me. Rotom's leading. Blastoise is leading. We're clicking Mirror Coat turn 1. I'm really hoping that you are not going to click Willow expecting the Garchomp to come in, because if I can get a Mirror Coat on a Volt Switch here, something other than Weavile is dying. And if Weavile comes in on a Blastoise that just stayed in on a Rotom, I guess you're expecting a Flip Turn. But if you're expecting a Flip Turn, you probably go like Bronzong, right? Volt Switch, we're going to tank this. That did way less than I wanted it to. I actually might not kill things now. That is not an offensive Rotom wash. That is incredibly defensive. 0 special attack. All right, good to know. Don't know what the defenses are, but outside of Audino, I think something just drops. Like, I still just took 50%. Of course, Audino is the one that comes in. Mirror Coat's going to do a lot. And now I can just Scald here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be boosted. Your leftovers, Audino. Why doesn't Blastoise get knockoff like Venusaur does? That's the real question. I'm just going to go for a Scald here, though. It's my strongest attack against this Audino. This thing's a pain, and if I can get it out of my way, I'd be really happy. So that's a ton of damage right off the bat. Super happy about that. You're going to Regenerator it back, obviously. See, this is why I wish I had knockoff, but that's okay. We're going to Scald here, get some damage off on the Bronzong, maybe get a burn on this too. That would be actually wonderful. Yo, let's go. So let's see if you're leftovers or what item you are. You were leftovers last time. You are leftovers again. So far, everything I've seen is the exact same sets as last time. And we've negated those leftovers for the rest of the match. So I can just go into Mandibuzz here. And I have access to Defog. I have access to Knockoff. So we're going to be able to go into Mandibuzz. Obviously, the Rotom can come in on that, but I can just knock it off as well. Instead of going for the Defog. I expect Rocks are coming up right now. Just a Toxic. Okay. Thought about going Copperajah there, but that's okay. I have Heal Bell on the Sylveon, so we aren't condemned to losing our Mandibuzz now. It's not the end of the world. But that does give me a free chance to knock off. Not worry about the fact that the rocks are even up. They're not. And if I can knock off the leftovers from this thing, the burn is just going to wear it down over time, and we are going to be able to go from there. So I have Roost on the Mandibuzz. I have access to Heal Bell on the Sylveon, so this is all fine for now. I say that a lot, and then I end up losing the battles, like because something happened, and I was like, oh, I never got a chance to click Heal Bell, but, that's okay. Rotom's going to come in. So now is where I could go Garchomp if I want. You're almost never, ever clicking Willow here. There's the leftovers gone on the Rotom, so everything has leftovers. I could go Garchomp and then pivot into Sylveon from there, which means the Rotom is going to click Volt Switch, hit the Garchomp, Willow into the Sylveon. Gives me a chance to click Heal Bell for free, or Toxic, depending on what I want to do. But Bronzong's probably going to come in on the Sylveon, so... Yep, there's the Volt. So now you're going to Willow. So now we're going to go into the Sylveon. Because you're never going to click Willow when I have a Mandibuzz that's already poisoned in front of you. Like, there's just no reason. And Garchomp hates coming in on Rotom because of the fact that it can Willow. So here's Sylveon. I'm seeing the Willow here. I'm fully expecting it at least. Hydro. Just Hydro Pumps. Okay, that's actually also fine. So I do want to click... That does nothing. What comes in here? Bronzong? So I kind of want to just click Heal Bell. Yeah, I just Heal Bell. I just Heal Bell here. Thought about it for a second. Bronzong's going to come in. You're going to Volt Switch into Bronzong. Or Audino. But if Audino comes in, then I just Toxic when it comes in. I'm already showing you Heal Bell, so Toxic on that doesn't really matter. You did have Toxic Wish Audino last time, in addition to Stealth Rock Toxic Bronzong. You have shown me the Hydro Pump's the first move that I hadn't seen before. So in comes the Bronzong. We're going to be able to get off a Heal Bell here. And now we can go Copper. If I want to. Just to not let you Toxic, not worry about Stealth Rock too much. You're not getting any leftovers recovery, which is good. The burn is super helpful to keep you at that level of HP. You know, damage is just permanent on this Bronzong, which is nice. And I can go into Copper, and I can click my own Stealth Rock, and deal with the fact that rocks might be up on my side, but at least they'll be up on yours as well. Makes things like Regenerator not as good. Super useful. So there's your rocks. I'm going to set mine up here. Now, unfortunately, even as good as this opening feels, Audino isn't as damaged as I would like it to be. You know, he got about 30% more back. So that thing's going to be at like 60-70% even after the Mirror Coat. I really wish that Rotom was more offensive. But Rotom comes in here. So this is a chance to click Power Whip, kind of scouting out what you want to go for here. Obviously, Willow would suck at this moment in time. Like, I could go Sylveon on the Will-O-Wisp here. But you're actually doing just as much chip to me as I'm doing to you. So I'm going to click Power Whip here. Willow comes out. It does land. But again, I do have the Heal Bell, so if needed, I'll be fine. We also land our Power Whip, which is really nice. Still does, you know, something to the Rotom, which is good. I don't see you double Willowing here. I would be surprised if you double Willowed. I could go Garchomp. Could go Garchomp. Could just stay in. I'm going to go Garchomp here. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to be really, really aggressive. Pain Split. Okay, so I know you're full set. I could just Swords Dance. But a Swords Dance Dragon Claw is the same as just 2 Dragon Claws if you miss your Willow. But Swords Dance allows me to break the Bronzong if you do go into that. I'm just going to Swords Dance here. Just miss a Willow. Nah. I can Swords Dance again. It's not as good. I could have just clicked Dragon Claw the first time and been happy about it, but... again, we still have the Sylveon to come in later. But I feel like I just want to Dragon Claw, get some damage on this Rotom. It's neutral still, so it's still just... I mean, it's just a neutral Dragon Claw. I'll just click it. You're probably going to Hydro Pump. You'll miss a move eventually, right? Like, that's still huge damage. Maybe you won't miss a move eventually. I'm still gonna Dragon Claw again. If Garchomp goes down, it goes down. Again, Garchomp was really nice to have, but at the same time, Weavile always threatens it out. So if Bronzong comes in, then I can crunch on that. You're taking Stealth Rock, you're taking Dragon Claw, and then you're taking Crunch. That's especially defensive if I've ever seen it. So, and Rotom's at 50%, and I do live another one if I kill here, which I don't think I do, but you are especially defensive, so maybe? Ooh. That's unfortunate. So Bronzong kills Garchomp with Flash Cannon. Oh, that's unfortunate. So knowing you're special, I could just go Sylveon. I could also just go Blastoise here. Those are sort of the choices. Blastoise, though, lets the Rotom back in, which I don't really want to do. Sylveon doesn't get walled by anything at this point. Would be able to kill from here. I could also just go Gengar. But then if you bring in your Audino and save this, that's annoying. I could just go Mandibuzz. Clicking Knockoff first. But then the Rotom comes in. I have to go Sylveon here, I think. And I just kill this with a Hyper Voice. I don't really do anything else. I mean, I could wish. Hold on. How much time do I have left? Still have 7 minutes. All right. So Sylveon to Bronzong. With Flash Cannon. It's doing like 20%, so I could wish into Hyper Voice. But you could Toxic, and I don't really want to be Toxic, because then I have to wish into Heal Bell into Hyper Voice, and then then I have to deal with that. So I'm just gonna go for a Hyper Voice here. Take out the Bronzong. So Sylveon kills Bronzong with Hyper Voice. So that's dead. Volcarona could come in, but then I just go for a Toxic. Audino could come in, but then I go for a Toxic. You could have Heal Bell as well, but I'm not going to stress too much about the idea that you might. I'm just going to play with what I see in front of me. You're probably going to Toxic me, but I do have Heal Bell, and I can get rid of that. So I can Toxic, Wish, Heal Bell in that order. Then I'll be at full health with no Toxic. And if you show me Heal Bell, then that's, that's good. But if you don't show me Heal Bell, then we're in good shape. So I could also just go straight for... I could skip the Wish step, but I don't really want to skip the Wish step here. Because Hyper Voice is certainly not coming anywhere near killing you. And so I can Wish, Heal Bell. And you'll see my whole set at that point. So you'll be confirmed at what my set is. But your best play right now is to click Knockoff or Heal Bell of your own. But if I Wish and then I Heal Bell, I still get back to full. So there's your Heal Bell. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay. But you didn't Wish. You just Heal Belled. You probably have Wish. But my Heal Bell does more for me because it also gets rid of the burn that you had gotten earlier. So I'm still going to go for it. Now you could just go straight for a Toxic here. It'd be an interesting play. I think Knockoff's probably coming. But getting Copperajah unburned is also super useful here. There's your Wish. Oof. Okay. Buckle in, y'all. We get 10 minutes and no limit on the number of times we can do this outside of the number of whatchamacallits we have. PP. So now that I'm healthier than it, I can just start... Well, you just get your Wish right back now, right? Just gonna heal Bell. Lose nothing. Lose my leftovers. Okay, so we know you're full set. And outside of clicking knockoff on the copper, you literally can't touch it. So I could just go copper for free here, but I actually get a free attack with the Sylveon right now. Another option is going into Mandibuzz for a second, clicking knockoff and defog. But I don't really want to defog right now, so I'm just going to Hyper Voice. It's a free attack. Because you have to heal Bell. Okay, now I can do it 2 more times, and does it actually kill from here? Maybe not with the leftovers. It's going to be close, though. Do I click heal Bell is the question. Or do I click, Hyper Voice here? Because you're going to wish. I'm just going to Toxic. I'm going to Toxic first. Game. How many Willows, Hydro Pumps, Toxics have you landed? Okay. I'll do it again. Because now you can wish. Okay. So now I wish heal Bell. You're not going any. I mean, we're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. We're just sitting. But he does have a minute more than me on the clock, so that is something I have to keep in mind and like try to play really, really fast. So I need to make sure I'm clicking my moves with some rapidity. Because if that does come into play, I need to be able to make sure that I have enough time. There's the heal Bell. I'll heal Bell. Now, you could Toxic right off the bat here on this heal Bell. Which means that there's a temptation for me to click Toxic, but it's a bad temptation. Because I'm taking too much damage from Toxic right now, so I can't justify it. Because I think Toxic is your click. Switches. Switches out into Rotom. You're going to Pain Split right now. You're going to Pain Split. Do I have anything low? Blastoise. Is Blastoise a good switch in here? I mean, you still get HP back from that. And then you kill it in the following turn, and Garchomp's dead. So, I'm just going to wish. Yeah, you Pain Split. But now you have to think about your moves. So this is where I can regain that time on the clock. Because you're like, do I go Blastoise? Do I stay in? There's your Pain Split. And now I just Toxic again. Nope, that's Heal Bell. Don't click Heal Bell. If you burn me, I never click Heal Bell ever again. That's not true, but... Bolt comes out. We have a Wish up, so we're gonna be back to full anyway. So Rotom just got a little bit of HP back there, which is not great, but not the end of the world. You could go like Lando, but you're gonna go Audino. Take rocks. So this is where, after this Wish, I think I go into Copper. I don't really want to stay in on this, do I? And take a Toxic? Oh, you're already Toxic, so you're going to heal Bell. So it's a free turn to go into anything, one of which is Mandibuzz. And I actually think Mandibuzz is the switch here, because I can knock, and then I can come back into... You have to switch into something else, like Rotom, and I can... Okay. So you're going Rotom here, now that I go to Mandibuzz. Which means you don't get rid of the Toxic, because you have to go Rotom right now. I've already gotten rid of the leftovers on the Rotom, so I really have no intention to stay in with the Mandibuzz. Because that just allows the Rotom to do annoying things. So the question is, what's my best switch into a Rotom right now? And I think it's Gengar. It's Gengar clicking Energy Ball. Now, if you knock off, you're the realest player I've ever met in my entire life. If you knock off, you are the realest player I've ever met in my entire life. But you are going into Rotom right now. I'm trying to change the situation, trying to bait things in. You Toxiced. Okay. Now you can knock off, but you're getting a lot of poison. I kill this thing if you knock off. I live a knockoff, and 2 Sludge Waves kills this thing. I've already taken out the Bronzong, so it is free for me to click it. I'm just going to click Sludge Wave. If you knock off, I'm killing this thing, and then Sylveon wins the game. This is your only way to break the Sylveon, and it doesn't even really work. So I'm just going to do a ton of damage here. Heal Bell comes out. That's fine. You can't Wish Stall me right now. Sludge Wave does enough damage where that doesn't really matter. 2 more will kill. Unfortunately, 1 more won't. But that's okay. You are going to be able to click Knockoff, get rid of my Wise Glasses. But I am going to be able to live the hit and then go for another Sludge Wave and kill this thing. That's really important. Because this thing can't survive another hit. Knockoff's going to come out. So now you're probably going to switch into like Landorus, but as long as it's not Scarf Lando, I'm okay with that. And I can just Sludge Wave again here. Gengar being hurt sucks, but again, I can handle that. It's not the end of the world. It was not really taking a hit from anything anyway. I just needed to outspeed everything, and it outspeeds everything other than the Weavile on that roster. So you are going to switch out. That's not overly surprising, but I get a free hit on the Landorus here, and then I'm going to be able to Icy Wind as long as you're not Scarf. That's a Weavile. You're just going to hand me that much damage on a Weavile? Your boots, too? You're just going to hand me that much damage on a Weavile. All right. I'm just going to go into Copper. Yeah, you could double. You could make a really, really strong, aggressive double. But Gengar is still really good. And I'm definitely going to keep it around for now. You didn't switch, it looks like. If you triple axled or if you knocked off, that's fine. Knockoff would be the worst case scenario because then you won't die to Rocky Helmet. You'll just take some Rocky Helmet. But triple axle is ideal. So Weavile's just dead as long as it lands 1 more. Okay. Great. So now Weavile's just dead. It did nothing. That's huge. Now Landorus comes in or Rotom comes in. Probably Landorus comes in. Maybe Volcarona comes in. To be honest, this could be where you feel you need to go Volcarona to try to get ahead here. But Blastoise still has Aqua Jet, so I can still just go for a Heat Crash on the Volcarona here. Landorus comes in, so I don't stay in on that. Because that would just be suicide. There's no reason to do that. I don't do any damage to you, really, and I just died to an Earthquake. So I could go Mandibuzz. That's so obvious right now, but at the same time, it's still a good play. Mandibuzz doesn't... It doesn't check anything, right? Like, it dies to Volcarona. Audino will eventually beat it with Toxic. Rotom will kill it. So it's just for the Landorus. Earthquake comes out. That's huge. Looks like we've also made our time back up. So Rotom's going to come in here. I could just go for a foul play to try to hit the Rotom for some damage. I could just go for a defog at this point. I could also just double into Sylveon. But I think you're going to U-turn into the Rotom, so I don't want to do that. I'd rather just click... Oh, I don't know. Your Rocker's gone, mine's not, so I'm going to click defog and then eventually get rocks back up. I also don't really need them anymore. Okay, you didn't U-turn, which makes me feel like you might be choiced, but last time you were assault-vested. So we're just going to defog here, because I still have my Rocker alive, and it's still really, really healthy. So we are going to be able to not have your rocks in the battlefield ever again, and I will be able to set mine up if you ever bring the Audino back in, because I don't need the Rocky Helmet anymore. So all I need to do is go Sylveon. That baits in the Audino. I go Copper immediately, and then I just get rocks up again. Because I think Volt's coming out. Because Rotom's still really good for you. So you're going Audino because it's your only answer. And I don't really care that the Audino's at full health, because as soon as the Audino can't get more Regenerator, then I can beat it. I can knock it off with the Mandibuzz. It just can't live for enough turns there. So you do actually go into the Lando here because you don't want to let me get the rocks back up. And at this point, it looks like Earthquake shouldn't kill unless you're like choice banded. But I don't want to. I mean, this thing is way too valuable. Mandibuzz is way not valuable enough for me to justify keeping it around. So we're going to go Mandibuzz here every time. You're probably going to Stone Edge like I expect it. You're probably like choice in some way. We'll get a chance to scout here. Swords Dance. All right. So do you have Stone Edge? That's a good question. So I'm just going to Foul Play here. We'll see how greedy you get. Maybe you Rock Polish. It's just hard switches. Okay. Goes to Rotom. Foul Play is going to do something. It's going to do some damage to that, so I'll take it. You're going to see the Foul Play, but that's fine. So I can't go Copper hard here. I could go Gengar and Sack, but Gengar's now... I know that your Lando's not Scarfed. I know your Rotom's not Scarfed. So Gengar becomes incredibly, like, the most valuable thing on my roster. So we're just going to go into Sylveon. You're going to Volt Switch into the Landorus, and then I have to make a choice about whether I go back to the Mandibuzz. I think I always do. If you Volt Switch... So you Volt Switch into Landorus, and I showed that that's not going to be a strategy that's consistent. So now you're going to go Audino. I go get my rocks up. I start getting chip on your whole roster again. You could go Volcarona. I can Toxic that, and then Audino has to deal with it. But I guess you're saying that you are getting some chip, and I'm not getting any right now. Well, I am. I'm getting it on the Rotom a little bit, right? So, and honestly, with you doing Volt Switches to the Sylveon, your Pain Splits aren't going to be doing as much either. So I'm definitely just going to keep on doing what I'm doing right now. It feels like it's working just fine. I showed you Foul Play. There's the Swords Dance. I'm not taking any damage from anything. I'm just going to Foul Play again. Let's see what you do here. If you go Rotom, it's down to 25% again. Fly. All right. Your Power Herb Fly. How much is this doing? We're living that. Foul Play. Just bodies this. Okay. Mandibuzz is dead. I'm not switching it out this time. If Volcarona comes in, which is exactly what happens here, I need to just do damage to this thing. So the question is Knockoff or Foul Play doing more to a Volcarona? Which is just going to be Boots. Like, I'm not too stressed about it. Looks like Knockoff's doing a little bit more. Damage is really the important thing here. There's a Fiery Dance, so you're going to kill me. Okay. Volcarona kills Mandibuzz with Fiery Dance. It's at +1 now, which is like the most suboptimal thing I've ever seen. Like, that's super frustrating. But to a Blastoise with a Bug Buzz, it's doing... Ooh, it's a roll. Ooh, it's a roll. So I could go Sylveon. Sylveon's going to live the hit. But then you're just going to switch it out. I think either way you're going to switch it out probably, right? So I'm just going to go Blastoise. Oh, this is tough. Well, you didn't Quiver Dance. So Gengar comes in. Unless you're Scarfed, which I guess you could be. I'll get to find out now. If you get another boost, though, I'm in real trouble. So I'm just going to Sludge Wave. Because I know this is just a sack of the Gengar here. But it's doing big damage. There's the Quiver Dance. Right. That's why. That's not great. That might have been a mistake. Huge mistake. I may have just thrown this game away. Roost comes out. Okay, please Poison. I could have Icy Winded there. That would have been funny. Please Poison. Because if you Quiver Dance again, then you're going to kill the Sylveon. But I can't go hard Sylveon either. Do you Quiver Dance again here? I Sludge Wave. I Sludge Wave. If you Quiver Dance, I have Aqua Jet. But you're going to Roost, potentially? But I'm not actually in Torrent like I wanted to be. So you Roost here. Yeah, I think I just lost this game. I mean, I can crit. There's always the chance I crit. There's always the chance I poison. The Roost is huge for him. The Roost is huge for my opponent. I mean, yeah, crits and poisons are... they're real. I'm not sure if I should be going for Sludge Wave or if I should be going Shadow Ball here, to be honest. I'm actually, like, legitimately unsure. There's Fiery Dance. So Sylveon takes one hit here. Even at +3, I think I can take one. Every single Fiery Dance boost. Every single... this is insane. This is absurd. Like, this is actually just... lands every attack. Gets every possible boost out of every possible move you clicked. So do I Wish? Do I Toxic? I definitely don't Wish. Do I Hyper Voice or Toxic? Hyper Voice doesn't even put you in range of the Aqua Jet, so I have to Toxic. I can live this, to be honest. It actually only has 2 rolls that kill. Oh my god. I should have just gone Sylveon right away. I don't know why I went Gengar. Because I just got a Toxic off on the Audino and then didn't let this happen. Like, that was... I don't know. Sometimes you throw a game, you know? It happens. That's life. I wish I had Protect right now. I mean, it wouldn't really matter that much. Actually, it would matter a lot. It would matter a lot if I had Protect right now, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't... I mean, my move doesn't matter here. Oh, and you have Giga Drain? I mean, that doesn't matter either. If I'm going to have any chance, it's going to be Blastoise clicking Aqua Jet. So I'm going to sack everything else and let Toxic do as much as it can. And if by some miracle Blastoise's Aqua Jet does enough damage to kill, then wow. But even then, the combination of Rotom and Audino should be able to win it for them. I really threw by just not going Sylveon. Like, I can't believe how hard I threw there. That's incredible. That's actually the most incredible thing I've ever done. I have not thrown that hard in God knows how long. Nope. You know, I really expected the Flame Body to pop there. I needed a Willow to miss, a Hydro to miss, a Toxic to miss somewhere from the Audino so that I didn't end up in that situation. I'd rather the battle end like that than on timer for the Audino and Sylveon literally never doing anything. But at the same time, heavily frustrating that I threw that because I definitely had a win con. It was go Sylveon on the Volcarona. Just click Toxic. I mean, if Audino comes in, Audino's already Toxic, right? It didn't even get a chance to click. Yeah, honestly, just go Sylveon, click Wish. Why did I go Gengar? Why would I let that happen? Oh my god. Oh, I got in my own head. Yeah, no, there's no excuse for that. That's, I mean, good game to my opponent, obviously, but that's just a bad play on my part. That was entirely on me. Because I definitely had the win there. I had multiple places. I could have just gone Blastoise. Hell, I just needed to not go Gengar. That was it. That was the only thing that mattered. I I just threw like the hardest I've ever thrown a game. And even after it went for, well, okay, it went for the Fiery Dance first on the Mandibuzz. If it didn't get the Fiery Dance boost, the problem was the Fiery Dance boost, because then if I go Sylveon, I don't have enough turns, because then it can get a Quiver Dance off, a Toxic, and then it gets a Fiery Dance boost again, and then Sylveon's not walling it anymore. And that was my worry, like the fact that it got the Fiery Dance boost in the first one, but then it got the Fiery Dance boost again on the Gengar. And if it was at +2 instead of +3, or +3 instead of +4, then Sylveon could have maybe done something. But it was just like every single situation that could go wrong went wrong there. That was... it wasn't even hacks. Like, everything was the statistically odd, like, likely scenario, you know? But, of course, I missed my Toxic ones just to throw a little salt in. Hey, just a reminder, if the Fly from the Landers had missed and Mandibuzz was healthier, and Volcarona couldn't just kill it with a Fiery Dance, if I'd just gone Sylveon... Oh well, second time that's ever happened to me. I did in the PAC against Mountay as well. I just took a game that I was literally going to win and then just threw it away. So that happens. That's life. Sometimes that's the end of a season for you. Just frustrating when it happens in playoffs, because obviously that's the end of the season. What's coming around the corner? I'm actually not doing any leagues, any like Wi-Fi leagues, or uploading anything for the next month and a half, like 6 weeks. I'll still be doing the Draft League World Cup thing, the online site showdown thing, but I'm not uploading those battles, and the TBL Summer League's going on, but I'm not participating. So this is it for me for like 6 weeks. I swear my channel's not dead. I'm just taking a break from Wi-Fi leagues. I have nothing specifically coming up that I've drafted for. So there will be some cool stuff coming up on the channel later, though. Definitely check it out at the end of the summer. But other than that, that's it for me. This is... Oh, I haven't had a battle that frustrating in so long. I don't even know what to say. I'm just devastated. That's just heartbreaking to take a battle that you did so much work in, to put yourself in the winning position, to literally just every move was perfect, and I made one misplay, and that was it. That's all it takes. So 100 moves later, you know, it's hard to stay in it for that long when you have a mon that you're super worried about, like Volcarona. All I had to do was just go Sylveon. Even at +1, I was going to wall the Volcarona. I just click Toxic. Audino comes in. It doesn't really matter. Even if I didn't want to click Toxic because I didn't want the Audino getting it for free, I just click Wish. And the Audino comes in, and then it has to make a choice of whether it predicts the Gengar coming in. Like, Volcarona wouldn't have swept there. I wouldn't have killed it either. Like, it would have just switched out against the Sylveon into the Audino, most likely, but... You know, then the game continues. And I just... Oh, man. Staring at the move Quiver Dance on my notes, just hoping it doesn't exist, but it does. That's what happened. That's the game. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys all back here whenever my next Wi-Fi league starts up. I'm not retiring. I'm not done. I just don't have any Wi-Fi leagues right now, so I'm not uploading anything. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everybody.